Good morning.
Good morning.
How nice it is to be back in this pulpit. When I sat down to work on my sermon, I started counting the years, and it's been 9 years since my year here as an intern. The years go by quickly, don't they? Yeah. As many of you know, I now work as a chaplain for Kaiser Antioch Medical Center, a position I've had for almost 7 years now. A few of you may remember from my time here that I'm a passionate country music fan, a rarity in this area of the country. And I chose my sermon title this morning, On the Road Again, from the classic Willie Nelson song that many of you may know. I love that song, and you can often find me singing along with it as I drive out to Antioch. But while I love the melody, I'm not actually fond of the words of the song. To be constantly on the road again, constantly in the midst of change, constantly looking at the map and ready for unknown experiences doesn't appeal to me. I'm much more of a homebody. I like things to remain pretty much the same. My sense is that this is true for most of us, and that while most of us might like to take a good road trip with a GPS system and a AAA card, most of us don't embrace major change with open arms. We're not eager to be on the road again all the time. Kaiser has an employee health program that focuses on encouraging everyone to get out and walk more often, and each day they email an inspirational quotation. A little while back it was, "Knowing where you're going is the first step in getting there." I sat and I read that quote a few times at my desk. For me, it begged the question, do you know where you're going? I'm a pretty organized person. Most days I could tell you I think I know where I'm going. I need to go to work, then to the grocery store, hopefully swing by the bank and get home in time to put the kids to bed. From this perspective, my schedule is pretty well set. And yet one of the gifts of the work that I do as a hospital chaplain is to be constantly reminded that where you think you're going is not always where you end up. No one has Thursday afternoon at 2 penciled in for a visit for the emergency department, and absolutely no one has on their calendar a time to be diagnosed with cancer or kidney failure or dementia. Working in healthcare is a constant reminder that life is always changing and almost always beyond our control. As part of my work, I spend almost all of my time talking with patients who have new diagnoses, and patients who are being forced to accept physical limitations that have a major impact on their lives. In these cases, our initial human responses, one person to the next, are much the same. We react with anger, disbelief, questioning why, and wondering with some trepidation what's ahead. Many of us here may know very well those first moments of panic. However, while I have noticed in my work that our initial human reactions are much the same, I've also noticed that what happens next is individual. Some people are able to accept these major changes in their lives much more quickly than others. And over the years, I've listened with curiosity to try and identify why this is. The result I have come to is that these patients, the ones who are able to react to the major changes in their lives with easy grace, are the people who do not feel that what is core to their lives is being challenged or changed by physical illness or ailments. These are the rare people who, despite the loss of a limb or in the face of a major cancer diagnosis, are able to find peace by staying grounded in those things, almost always intangible things, that are most important to them. How do they do this? I'm still figuring that out as the years go by. I listen and I listen some more. But here is some of what I have learned. There are 3 main sentences that I hear variations of from the rare people who are able to accept these major changes with such easy grace. And here are those 3 sentences. The first is, there are still so many things to be thankful for. The second is, it is what it is, and I can't change it. And the third is, God has helped me before, and God will help me through this too. To me, these three sentences are representative of the three topics of gratitude, acceptance, and faith. So we'll start talking about gratitude. Here put into words by Irma Bombeck. An estimated 1.5 million people are living today after bouts of breast cancer. Every time I forget to feel grateful to be among them, I hear the voice of an 8-year-old named Christina, who had cancer of the nervous system. When asked what she wanted for her birthday, she thought long and hard, and finally said, "I don't know. I have 2 sticker books and a Cabbage Patch doll. I have everything." And Mrs. Bombeck concluded, "The kid is right." Another illustration is that years ago, a 12-year-old boy named David was born without an immune system. He underwent a bone marrow transplant in order to correct this deficiency. And up to that point, he had spent his entire life in a plastic bubble in order to prevent exposure to common germs, bacteria, and viruses that could kill him. He lived without ever knowing human contact. When asked what he'd like to do if and when released from his protective bubble, he replied, "I want to walk barefoot on the grass and touch my mother's hand." Patients I meet who are able to keep an awesome sense of gratitude are able to take what life brings them because they see it in the context of a life truly overflowing with blessings.